To begin with, it's critical to understand the difference between earning $1 million and actually possessing $1 million. While most people can achieve their objective of generating a net worth of over $100 million over their lifetime, very few will ever make that much in a single year. Furthermore, winning $1 million may not make one as wealthy as it is generally believed. Recent history is full of instances of athletes, celebrities, business people, and lottery winners wasting their money on extravagant frivolities. Hey, and welcome to the Luxury Syndicate, where we embark on an exquisite journey to the heart of the luxurious world and share valuable financial life advice as well as entrepreneurial insights. You have reached the perfect channel if you want success in your life and business. Make sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons if you haven't already, and feel free to leave a comment. Most people might think that making even $1 million is a lot of money and impossible, but there are many good reasons why they are wrong. We will explore these strategies in this video. Number 1. Build an application. Suppose the users find value in what you're offering. In that case, the path to the first $1 million may be significantly shorter than anticipated, depending on how much money you can extract from each individual user. The issue with apps is that you've already lost them if the user doesn't feel the need to use them frequently. Fortnite has so far surpassed $1 billion in-app purchases in just 3 days. The app ecosystem has changed over the last few years, going from Candy Crush, which at its peak generated roughly $1 million daily, to the meditation app Calm, which was recently valued at $250 million. The ability to generate additional cash within the app has traditionally been the key to most app success. Number 2. Working for crazy rich people. Most people typically picture entrepreneurs starting businesses when they think about multimillionaires. However, the reality is that the majority of millionaires, about 1 in 5, earn their wealth by working for someone else. If you give it some thought, working for a wealthy person is more likely to lead to financial success than starting your own company. We advise you to find a mentor if this is your goal. These people are eager to support your development. If they have enough faith in you, they offer advice and opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise have. They'll integrate you into their groups and see to it that you're looked after. Working directly with a billionaire is the easiest route to earning your first $1 million. Rich people place a high value on their time and are particularly appreciative of those who can help them save time. Finding someone who is really affluent and assisting them in either saving time or making money is the best way to go about doing this. You'll discover that the value you add to their lives directly relates to how generous they are. It's crucial to note that you should already be in a relationship of trust with that wealthy person before you try this. Number 3. Invest in a property and make it extremely profitable. If you don't have a creative streak, this is reality. A franchise is an easy and profitable option to start your own business because it already has been optimized for you by someone else. Simply make sure everything keeps going in the right direction. For those of you who are unaware, a franchise is a business that develops a successful enterprise with an already recognized brand that is built on streamlined procedures that are replicable time and time again. Think of Starbucks or McDonald's. So how does this work? Although there are clearly more expensive possibilities, you can locate profitable franchises starting as low as $10,000, depending on what you're searching for. For instance, the cost of a Dunkin' Donuts franchise varies by location and ranges from $40,000 to $90,000. However, that is not the only need the organization has for you. $250,000 in liquid assets is all you need to make sure you can maintain the operation. It's up to you to locate the best franchise for your area and price range. Number 4. Establish a yearly subscription service. Everyone now uses subscription services, as seen by the success of companies like Netflix. Both Apple Music and Tidal are on the rise. In order to put things in perspective, as of 2018, Netflix had 125 million subscribers who paid a minimum of $7.99 per month for the service. They generated almost $11 billion in revenue in 2017. It's time to introduce you to Millionaire Math, which asks how many different ways you can reach $1 million in a year. We can think of 5,000 people who will pay you $17 a month for a year if you consider subscription services. You receive $42 each month for a year from 2,000 people. You receive an annual payment of $83 from 1,000 people. Either 500 individuals or 300 people will pay you $167 or $278 per month for a period of 12 months. You see what I mean? All of these will lead you to the promised land of the 7 figures. We're constantly surprised to see how perhaps but never calculate these things. It's a rather easy game to play if you understand the kinds of numbers you should be creating. Finding a service that clients are willing to pay for and use often is the key. Number 5. Launch a decent business and expand it. Starting a small business is hard work in any environment, but it's even more challenging in a tough economy. This is partly because when credit markets are tight, it can be challenging to get financing. That's why small business owners must hone their business plans. The majority of people become millionaires by starting a small business and merely expanding it. This encompasses the hustler mindset, which is growth-oriented, even though we recognize that it seems a little more general. Even though starting a new business is never easy, the process is generally the same. Whatever line of work you decide to follow, it all begins with an issue that needs to be resolved. Number 6. Think of a brilliant yet wacky idea that no one has ever done. This time, if the previously mentioned concepts seem fairly obvious, we encourage you guys to think outside the box and unleash your imagination. Who can predict what will happen? There is a man who made $50 million by selling people rocks as pets. Another person earned $1 million by selling missiles on his website. These people will deliver a message on the potato for you, and this woman made millions by selling sunglasses to dogs. The world is full of bizarre tales, and we hope that this list has given you some inspiration. Number 7. Reselling. It all comes down to knowing how much some people are prepared to spend for something and getting it for less than that amount, whether it be a house, an antique, or anything else. Do you guys know Benjamin Kicks, a 24-year-old man who makes more than $1 million annually selling sneakers? Everyone in the sneaker industry is aware of this burgeoning industry. He began by selling a pair of sneakers that his mother had given him to a classmate for roughly twice what she had paid for them. He then proceeded to make additional purchases. After a few months, famous people started vying for the same brand of sneakers as this young person, so they extend a hand. Soon, he will be selling footwear to DJ Khaled, French Montana, and others. He has an entire business devoted to reselling sneakers, with the most expensive pair he has ever sold fetching $20,000 in the process. This is a key hustling principle and one of the most popular techniques to increase your income. This is the foundation of commerce. It's also capitalism in its most basic form. Find something you can buy for a low price and then sell to someone who will pay more for it. Number 8. Trademark a license. Although it is well known that patents are expensive, there are certain ways to protect oneself even without a patent, and that has been granted internationally. You must describe how your invention works in writing. Extremely specific instructions should be written down, burned to a CD or USB drive, and mailed to you in a sealed package. Being an innovator, designer, or engineer is another advanced technique to improve society. Lonnie Johnson is a superb illustration of this. Once more, you're not familiar with him. However, you're probably familiar with the Super Soaker. He invented this fascinating toy but lacked the knowledge to found a business, manufacture, market, and sell a line of items, so he granted a company called Hasbro a license to use the technology. Number 9. A drop shipping business. Greta Van Riel has founded 4 multi-million-dollar e-commerce businesses in the past 6 years and is responsible for entire fitness tea model phenomenon on Instagram. After only 6 months in business, she was earning more than half, or $1 million a month. She is one of our personal heroes when new products are launched, so if that number shocks you, you might want to read more about her. She made over $1 million in a single day, only to let you know that these kinds of numbers are feasible. You are aware of Kylie Jenner's current status as an almost billionaire, right? She has also been employing the dropshipping strategy. Only 6 people work for her company, which she owns entirely. A different company handles all of the outsourcing for production and fulfillment. Number 10. Produce books. Are you familiar with Amanda Hocking? Nearly all of the competing publishers have rejected her. None of her books get a chance. Even though she had little money, she really wanted to attend a Muppets conference, but she needed the cash for gas to get there. She self-published her works on Kindle in order to earn some of the $300 she needed. She added all of her novels after 20 months because she had earned more than $20,000 in a month. She has generated more than $2.5 million from works that publishers did not choose to publish. Few people are aware that you just need to sell roughly 10,000 books to break onto the list of New York Times best-selling authors. If you were on the list, it could be as few as 5,000 books. Or if your writing is strong, simply keep publishing novels until one of those becomes popular. Number 11. Live streaming. Skilled streamers should be able to interact and communicate with their audience, as well as produce quality material. Many streamers have discovered that interacting with their viewers outside of stream chat and sessions is ideal. I'm sure that you guys are familiar with Twitch. This kind of platform has been immediately embraced by gamers who broadcast themselves playing video games in order to broadcast themselves in real time. The approximate number to aim for is 100,000 paid subscribers, but if they're kind enough, you can reach $1 million with fewer than 50,000. Some would even argue that live streaming is already mainstream. Ninja, for example, is leading this movement and makes between $500,000 and $1 million each month from streaming alone. Number 12. Invest in index funds. For those new to this term, it is a unique kind of financial vehicle called an index fund that pools investor capital and uses it to buy securities like bonds or equities. An index fund attempts to replicate the performance of a specific stock market index. You must comprehend the influence of compound interest. Some may claim that it is the most significant mathematical discovery ever made, therefore, use it to your advantage to become wealthy. Albert Einstein, who frequently referred to compound interest as the eighth wonder of the world, is the person we are referring to. Whoever comprehends it earns it. If you understand how money works, you know that whoever does not pay it loses it. As an illustration, the first thing we ought to do is transfer the funds from a mutual fund paying 7% to an index fund like the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a fund made up of the top 500 US firms. For those of you who are new to this, when a business isn't doing well, it's eliminated and replaced by another deserving business. The S&P 500 produced returns of 10% annually on average over the previous 90 years. Number 13, joining a well-paying industry. You can double or even quadruple that sum if you're extremely skilled and specialized in what you do. Sales are the profession with the lowest entrance requirements and the greatest income. No matter where you are, if you know how to sell, you can make a ton of money. The top 1% of salespeople earn more than $250,000 per year than doctors and lawyers, which means that they will have earned $1 million in just 4 years. Number 14, YouTube. With a name like Mr. Beast, it was probably inevitable that he'd grow to be as huge as he is. I'm sure you've seen him on TikTok and YouTube. The 23-year-old made $54 million in 2021, the most of any YouTuber in history, as his videos received 10 billion views, more than doubling from the previous year. What is it that humans find so appealing? Mr. Beast excels at supersized stunts, which the internet enjoys watching. In the last year, he has spent 50 hours buried alive, given $10,000 to anyone willing to stay in a snake-infested bathtub, and presented his own version of Squid Game, where he built copies of the Netflix show's sets. Making money on YouTube used to be as simple as uploading an outstanding video, receiving millions of views, and getting a cut of advertising revenue. Number 15, ICO. Create your own blockchain-based business and secure private investors to support it. You shouldn't be prepared for your own ICO, where you invite early investors until the product has gained some popularity. Blockchain is causing disruption in every financial service category. Your objective is to determine how you fit into the group of new services. Whatever your opinion of Bitcoin or Ethereum may be, blockchain technology is here to stay. And if you want to understand it in the future, we actually advise that you start learning more and more about it now. We have been astounded by the number of people who become extremely wealthy very quickly through cryptocurrency. Initial coin offerings, or ICOs for short, are a type of crowdfunding in which a company sells tokens at a discount in order to leverage the early money to develop a digital service that runs on predetermined tokens. If the product goes well, people will want to buy your original tokens, which could make their value go up. Folks, we would like to hear from you on the steps you're taking to attain your first million. Let us know in the comments, and we'll try our very best to provide you with some feedback. If you guys did enjoy watching this, then make sure to hit the like button, and I would appreciate you subscribing to see more about fine living and luxurious life inspirations. This is the Luxury Syndicate. We'll see you on our next travel.